the University Student Council special elections underway for the position of Executive Vice Chairperson, we will be hearing from our two candidates as we will get to know their plans and visions for the student body. Let's begin with our first candidate, who is currently an external vice president of the College of Health Sciences Student Council, Elisha Jaika T. Chua. Hello, Ms. Chua. Thank you very much for taking the time and effort for being with us today. How are you doing so far?
Well, I am actually pretty nervous, but not nervous enough. For I am sitting here, of course, representing not just my name, but of course the whole studentry of the Mariano Marcos State University, and I'm really feeling so excited right now. So I hope this conversation will also be productive and amazing.
So, upon looking at your credentials posted by the USC, I can say that it is indeed a lot to manage as well. So let me just ask, how did you get there? What urged you to acquire acquire a lot of responsibilities? How did
Well,
it start?
all of those things that were written under the publication material.
Yes.
Well, it started with a girl who, of course, dreamed of being a positive change, being a change maker. So it took me a lot of courage, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of time in order for me to achieve those. But of course, I won't take all the credit myself because I believe that the people around me also has possessed and gave me the reasons and the motivations to keep going in order for me to get on that specific path or in those things that I achieved in my life. So yes.
All right. So if you could just remember, even if it's vague, do you remember when did you really start to find the purpose of being a student leader?
Okay. That's actually quite good question. Rather. So for me, actually, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Girl Scouting. Girl
We are
Scouting,
familiar. Yeah.
the
It
Girl Scouting
is.
movement. I was I was made by my mom to like participate in Girl Scouting when I was 3. However,
Oh.
of course, in the first time that I got there, of course, it's mere fun and then social activities, and then to get to connect to other girls actually also motivated me to go there. However, specifically, I think I sorted um, really stepping up when I was in junior high school. I was in grade 10. So I was in grade 10 and I ran immediately for a position of president in the
Wow.
Supreme Student Government way back, but it's already called SSLG right now.
Yes.
So ever since I was engaged in different activities, not just within my school, but also within my division, since after that I was also elected as the president of my division, and later on also got a position in the Regional Federation of Supreme Student Government. So ever since that time, then I actually, it was actually an eye-opener rather for me to keep doing good and to keep lighting the fire within me.
All right. Lighting the fire within you.
Yeah.
Last follow-up question.
Okay.
You said that it was from your region or division. What division was this? Where were you from? Yeah.
Okay, I
Where did it
am
all start?
from the Schools Division of Ilocos Sur. So I'm not
Ilocos Sur.
really from Ilocos Norte.
Okay.
And yes, it was actually a good experience rather working with different people in Ilocos Sur.
Yes. Okay, so based on the question that I have asked earlier on when did you find out that this is your purpose, let me ask once again, what prompted you to run for the executive vice chairperson position now and not during the last elections? Why only now?
Okay, so the reason why I chose to run this time is because I think and I believe that this time is indeed my time, and this is actually what we call the present one. So in this present one, I can see that I could offer something in the table, of course, for the University Student Council. And I've always believed that leadership is actually rooted in service and, of course, engraved as well with integrity. So that is why I am here to really step up and also to be the voice, to be the change, of course, a positive change for all the students. And since you asked me why just now,
Yeah.
well, to tell you honestly, I've said no's, a lot of no's in my life, but I consider this as a yes now. And I think I've seen enough from the past few months, from the past few weeks of all the issues that have been arising. I can see this as a platform, and then I'm here to actually prove that leadership is something that should not be decided hastily, or it shouldn't be rushed. So for me, I'm here to step up and now to be the voice of the students, to be the woman that I am to be, and then to be the woman that I am empowered to be.
All right, thank you. In Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution and Bylaws of the USC, the role and scope of responsibilities of the Executive Vice Chairperson is solely to assist, assume the duties of the Executive Chairperson in their absence, and perform whatever functions are deemed necessary by the Chairperson. What is something concrete you can offer the Council? How do you ensure that you won't just be a spare tire in the system?
Okay, so for that one, I think what I could offer in the council. Let me just use in here my name. It's Ali, so you can call me Ali. It's Ely. So first, for me, since I'm also a nursing student, I think I could give empathy to others, because I believe that leadership starts as well for the ability to listen, to understand, and to be there in the first place. And I've always believed that you cannot be more if you do not know how to be less. So that is why, for me, in this very application, when I submitted my certificate of candidacy, I am here therefore as a person or student vying for the executive vice chairperson, and I see this not just an application, but a pledge rather to serve the whole Stallion community. And if I will be fortunate enough to get this position, then of course I will be there not just as vice executive chairperson, but if I will take to complement, to challenge the executive chairperson and other members of the University Student Council or the other members of the General Assembly, then I would gladly do so. Because what I am trying to stand in here is the voices of the students, as well as their welfare, as well as what's best for them. So for me, yes, if I were to actually also amend that part, then I'd gladly do so. And also, I also want to emphasize that having this position, it is not just a helping hand, it is not just an extended hand of the chairperson, but we also have our own duties and responsibilities as executive vice chairperson.
All right, thank you. And now, as mentioned previously by the incoming executive chairperson, the calendar and list of activities have already been set for the academic year. Should you be elected in this position, what are the platforms and initiatives you plan to integrate into the already established activities?
Okay, so what I'm planning to integrate in this, I actually included this now in my platform, so you can see it via the publication materials. So first one, I'd like to add this Stallion for one. So I know already that we will be doing the Project Bukel this upcoming Tuesday. However, I would want to build or to initiate, rather, a leadership caravan wherein we just don't include the colleges or the officers of the student councils, but also the academic organizations as well as the interest clubs that compose now our university. And I would want us to create or to make a student leadership agenda in order for us to be prepared for the next academic year to come. And additionally, One of my platforms as well would be Pusot Gawa. So this is actually a personal favorite because for me, this is necessary in order for us to encourage now the different colleges to initiate or to implement their own outreach programs, because what I want to see as well is not just the smiles around our university, but of course it would be fulfilling to also see, to also discover and to also experience the smiles of those people outside our campus. And lastly, of course, would be the platform Tres, which I actually mentioned, and E, of course, that's capitalized because I want us as students to be educated, to engage, and to use the resources that are available in our university, as well as to be empowered enough in order for us to face the different challenges that comes within our experiences as students in the university.
All right, thank you. Now, partisan leadership still exists even in the university, student body, and in the General Assembly. While some may support your ideals, others will likely be opposing you, to the point that it would test your mettle in both professional and personal life. What's your stance about the existing partisan leadership, and how would you mitigate the situation?
Okay, so in leadership, with all the experience that I've already had, we could not really stop having different issues that arise, especially on, some on the parts of that it concerns now the different barriers that affect college from college. So, kumbaga po, di ba, hindi natin naiiwasan na may mga nangyayaring ganun talaga. And that is why I am here. If I will be fortunate enough, again, then I would gladly communicate well, of course, and then as much as possible, I will stand with no biases at all, because I believe that through proper communication and through standing for what is right, then that is what a leader must do. And also, additionally, I would just like to share. So, although it comes with both with a huge responsibility and then unlimited challenges as a student leader, especially on the highest council of our university, then I think what I could offer here is the ability for others as well to see themselves as light, tanglaw, kumbaga. And I am here actually vying for this position because I want to be a bridge. I want to be a bridge for the councils, the different councils for the different colleges, to build camaraderie and teamwork. But of course, with that idea of still collecting all their ideas, all their suggestions in a healthy way.
So, as you said earlier, how would you exactly build the connection with the student council or with everyone, as you've mentioned earlier?
Okay, so in order to build connection to the different councils, of course, first that's communication, and second engagement. Because I see right now, what we really need is proper communication. And it is not just proper communication that we need, but of course, channeling or using those information and channeling them in a proper, proper platform. So for me, that's actually a necessity in this university, especially among student leaders who are actually now, well, let's be honest, there are things that we could offer on the table, and those things are actually, vary from each other. So therefore, communicating with them properly and engaging with them, getting to know them better, and then getting to know their system as well as from the different colleges, that would actually be a huge help in order for us to, avoid any vices, to have proper communication, and to build a communication, or to build a platform where everyone's voice is being heard and valued.
All right, thank you. Now, the sudden change of the USC leadership was due to the tremendous amount of pressure and demand from both the academe and the organization. Being a part of the USC would demand a lot of your personal resources. As the next vice chairperson, how would you handle your time and energy in order to ensure neither your academics or, no, or your council responsibilities suffer?
Okay. So in all honesty, right now, nursing actually consumes most of my time and energy. However, I want to point out in here that if I will have to get, or if I will be fortunate to get this position, then I will use my time well. I will use my time wisely. So first, I think prioritization is actually important, especially for us leaders, because we have different responsibilities, and it's not just leadership, it's not just being a student in this university. We all have different lives even outside this very aspects of life. So therefore prioritization is indeed a must. Okay. And also, this one has been something that I've been practicing in way back in my college and in my department. Delegation, proper delegation of tasks. Because after all, the University Student Council, I will not just stand as Elisha in the University Student Council. I will stand as vice chairperson if ever. And then I will not be alone. And I'm sure I'm not alone. So therefore, it is something that I also want to instill to other people, not just within me, that delegation, proper delegation, is a must in this, in this position or in this council. And to know for a fact that it is the highest governing body, the highest council of our university. Of course, I know it requires time. It requires a lot of sacrifices. But if we are really passionate to lead, to serve, and to be a light to others, we could do it. I believe we could do it with the help of others, with the help of God, with the help of everything that actually ignites us to be in this part or in this position. Then I believe I could do it.
All right, beautiful. Okay. It is a likely possibility that you would be tasked to assume the role of the executive chairperson in cases of his absence. As such, taking up this role would mean handling problems that may require either swift decision making, or delicate and thorough discussions. In such situations, what factor would guide you in determining whether the problem needs to be handled quickly or given more time for thought?
Okay. So just in cases that he will be absent.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just as I said earlier, right proper decision making and consultation are actually necessary for us to arrive on such a decision if ever that we badly need to make a decision ASAP or as soon as possible. So I believe that the factors actually that could help me with this is I've always believed that leadership is something. I've always believed that leadership is not just about the title, and I just want to emphasize in here that I am embracing as your future executive chairperson. I am embracing all of those consequences, and I am already foreshadowing some of the cases that if he will not be there, then of course I will still need to answer. And then, yeah, to answer the call for leadership, especially in times of decision making. So I believe that I've already been prepared enough by all the experiences that I have so far. So I've already been prepared enough for such matters or for such roles.
Yes. However, if you were to determine the factors which you need to tell whether or not do you need to handle this situation quickly, or do you need to take your time in processing this situation. So what do you think are the factors that would help you in determining such?
Okay, so in determining such,
Yes.
I think it actually depends on what situation it will be.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, in my whole leadership experiences, I'd actually do it slowly but surely. It is something that I don't want to act so, quickly. I don't want to act so arrogantly about this. I actually don't want to make things hastily because I believe for me, even though the issue or whatever it is, whatever concern is already or has already been there, then I really want to go to a proper channel rather, and then also hearing the opinions and then the voices of the students regarding this matter.
Yes.
Would
Mm,
that answer your question?
yeah, but however, where would you draw the line? Because we know that we cannot avoid such circumstances where we have to think quickly, where we have to be quick enough to address the situation. So, where do you think would you draw the line, on being able to think quickly about this, or will you take your time in this matter? So where would you
When,
draw the line?
where or
Yes.
when?
Where would you draw the line?
I think it's where the students begin to demand
Mm-hmm.
for statements, especially from the higher ups, and it's not for me to stop them from doing so. But of course, for me, really, it is case to case scenario. So the basis in here depends on the issues that will arise. And for now, although I know and I'm confident that I could do well in this very position, but still, I have to still assess and then to be there on a right track.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Now, will you commit to pushing for a third-party audit or full publication of USC's financial records during your term, even if it implicates past officers? Why or why not?
I think I would still demand for one because
Demand for what?
the transparency,
The
the
third
audit,
party.
the third party
All right.
audit. I would still demand for one because for me it is our right to
Mm-hmm.
know what really happened, and
Yes.
it is our right to know because we were rather all part of the system, and I am actually kind of tired of saying that there's a broken system. If there's a broken system, I don't want to emphasize that one. I'd rather tell there's a broken system, but what we can do. What actually are we doing right now? And if there's a broken system, then what solutions could we make? Would we make rather? So for me, I would demand one because I believe that we should have those information, especially if it was dug deeper already. And for me, it is not just me who's questioning. There are a lot of students out there who are actually afraid or silenced of asking regarding that matter. But since I am already a part of the studentry, I've been there, okay, and then, well, right before I became a student leader, I'm also a student. So that is why it is just a necessity for the other or the previous rather administrations to tell us more about it because aside from we deserve it, it is something that we must know what really happened.
All right. Okay. So, given that the last vice chairperson had to unexpectedly assume the presidency, what makes you different and what makes you more prepared to handle the sudden transition?
What makes me different
Yes.
and to prepare for the suddenness. I think what makes me different from the one that already stepped up as OIC right
Yes.
now is for me, I have a heart for leadership, and I have hands rather that are willing to serve, that are willing to extend help to others. And I'm not saying that the other person is not like that, but I really can see myself as someone genuine to step up because for me, really, ever since leadership is not just about having these titles. It is about
Yes.
how you also communicate, how you use what you have to empower others. And additionally, I think I yield more for growth.
Growth.
So yes, and I believe that once I get there in the very position, then I will use the best of my abilities to acknowledge not just the student leaders, but also the students in our college in different aspects such as culture and others, in order for them to be recognized. So yes, I believe that that's something that I could offer, and that's something that makes me different from the other person. And aside from that, I've been empowered since I was, I've already been like a part of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines. So I believe the advocacies that are also centered in the Girl Scouting movement could actually help me to be here, especially on matters that requires generation equality and also nutrition. So that's all. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. All right. And now we move on to our next set of questions. Now, these questions are really special because this is where these questions were asked by students. So we'd really have this segment to be a little bit more engaging since it's coming from students and more direct. All right.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, you're already currently the CHS or College of Health Sciences Student Council External Vice President. What prompted you to widen your scope of responsibilities?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I've already seen enough and seen a lot from the past months and past weeks. And I think stepping up, okay, is something that's not just out of ambition or not out of personal interest, but I actually believe that I could offer something on the table. And I really want to work closely with people in order to influence them in a healthy or in a positive manner that requires us to have or to implement, to initiate programs, projects, or activities that are really for the students or for the betterment of the councils that we have. And additionally, just a little background, I've I've met people, the people from the previous administrations or people from my family, well, personally, and I've been motivated to step up and to file my candidacy for this position. Also, I've I've been practicing, or I've already been rather reflecting on a lot, and there are actually issues, social issues, whatever issues that are actually arising both in our country or inside our lives as students, and I can see that they're alarming. And since they're alarming, then it takes one to step up. It takes one to have the courage to step up. And that's what I'm saying, or I'm telling the whole stallion community.
That's what
that,
urged you.
Yeah, that's what urged me to actually step up and file for my candidacy.
Okay.
Yeah, the issues and also the interest and the burning passion within me that I really want to make a huge difference. Well, it doesn't start with huge, right? It's always small steps, slowly but surely. But since it is a bigger scale, it is a wider scale, then probably I could offer something great, especially in terms of, making sure of transparency and integrity for the student council. So yes.
All right. Thank you. Now let's proceed to our next question. You've held multiple leadership roles nationally and internationally. Given the USC's local credibility issues, how will you ensure that your leadership doesn't just look good only on paper, but actually rebuilds student trust at the grassroots level?
Okay, I think what's important in here is for me not just to, always tell and tell and tell, or always speak and speak without doing something. So for me, ever since I've always been guided with actions, with both actions and words. So for me, ever since I started representing the Philippines, especially when I went to Switzerland,
Wow.
last on February 2025 for a Helen Soros seminar to talk about food sustainability. Well, that's actually a huge or an international scaled issue, right? And there localized ones. There are issues that are happening in us. And if I were to make sure then actually that hindi lang lahat-lahat basta nasa papel, hindi lang lahat-lahat nakapapel lang. Well, I'm here to really show the stallion community that if it takes me to, or it takes myself to go up there on stage and help people, right, then I would gladly do so. And I remember such an experience having to sacrifice something. And I remember there was a student, okay, if it's okay to share this experience, there was a student who had a broken shoes way back. And I'm just not gonna tell the year, but there was like a broken shoe. And then there was a big event, it was a huge event. And then I realized I am something like this when the moment I decided to help that person and use my shoe rather instead of the broken one to go up there on stage and be with her father to receive a recognition. So that little sacrifice, that little thing, it is not just a little thing for me. It actually made a difference rather in that student's life. So for me, leadership, well, it requires sacrifice, but it doesn't need to be shown at all times. Like,
Yes.
hindi dahil nakapapel, hindi dahil meron akong ganitong titulo, yun na yun. Minsan, mas pinipili ko rin pong umaksyon ng
Alright.
tahimik.
So you mean that by putting action,
Yes, putting
that's how you
actions.
uphold the actual responsibility that you have, not just on
Yes.
paper,
Not
but
just on
actually
paper,
in
not
action.
just on words,
Yes.
but
Through
also
action.
to serve.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So one of your platforms, Stallion for One, is that
Okay.
correct? Promotes integrity and servant leadership. What would you have done differently if you were part of the current USC during the financial controversies and resignations?
What would I have done differently?
Yes.
Well, as I said earlier, I'd rather compliment or challenge the members of the council, right? But what I could have done is also, to encourage first the students, especially those who have raised already their opinions regarding this matter, for them to channel all their information, all their voices in a right way. And mahirap kasi kapag yung sitwasyon naiipit ka din. And what I want to emphasize on this one right now is, it's important if we communicate with the students well. And I think that's the first step to do, to communicate with them well and assure them that, okay, later on, a statement will be released regarding this or that. And if I were there, then I'd probably be unstoppable as well. Because knowing me, I've always been unstoppable, and I've always go for
Wow.
what's right. I've always stood, and I've always chose as well to stand for what's right. So I see that standing up and also, you know, there's a necessity now to go up, to go higher rather, and raise all the issues or concerns there, then I must do that. But of course, I would uphold still the concepts of privacy and confidentiality, as if it's not my story to tell, I will know and I will draw that line there.
All right. Then you know where to stop.
And I will know where to stop, I will know where to begin, I will know where to continue. And I think that's what a leader is.
All right. All right. Thank you. Now we proceed to our last specific this set of questions.
Okay.
Considering that the current OIC of the student regency hails from the College of Health Sciences, if you are given the chance to win this position, how will you guarantee equal representation and fairness to all colleges across the university? How can you set aside personal biases and the tendency to prioritize your own college's interests in order to serve the entire Stallion community?
Okay. So, yes, we all know that the current OIC is actually from the College of
CHS.
Health Sciences. And, well, if we're gonna we're gonna like really envision it, right? Then we will see that okay, if this person will win, then she'll also from CHS, right? But what I want to emphasize on this part is I applied and I filed my candidacy not just as a CHS student, not just as a nursing student, but because it is me and it was my personal choice. It was um, my decision to step up. And in order for me to have an equal representation among colleges, as I said earlier, it's important to actually gather all their opinions, all their concerns, not overshadowing not overshadowing the other colleges. And although the OIC and I are on the same college, I assure the Stalin community that this is not about us being CHS students. It is about us being in the council, in the highest or in the university student council, wherein what I want to really have in this, if I'll be fortunate enough, is for students' voices to be valued and also to be acknowledged all at the same time, all at once, without yun nga po, without any biases at all.
Thank you. All right, and we now proceed to our last segment for this interview. And this
Sure.
is a fast-paced one, and we have prepared this banner. Let's just say it's a banner for you, in which you will be asking you questions, and you will be giving your stance whether you agree or disagree. This is for agree, and this is for disagree. All right. So
No need to
here are your
explain, right?
banners. Yeah, no need to explain. It's gonna be just fast-paced.
Okay.
All right. So are you ready?
Yes, I've always been ready.
Okay, lovely confidence. All right, let's begin. Do you believe that there should be a universal fining system across all colleges for absences during required participations in events and programs? Agree or disagree?
Are you gonna read it once now?
Yeah, once.
Ah,
Agree. All right. Do you support the promotion of lesser student activities to lessen class interruptions? Oh, all right. Do you believe the campus food services offer enough healthy and affordable options? Okay. Do you believe that the student organizations should have more autonomy on how they spend their funding? Are you willing to publicly release your campaign donors, if there are any, to ensure transparency? Do you believe the Student Council is currently doing an adequate job of representing marginalized student groups? Oh, little hesitant. And
oh,
oh, I think that hesitation already implies something.
marginalized communities.
Yeah. Agree or disagree?
Not both. You can answer both. It's fine to answer both.
All right. All right. So in some cases. All right. Okay. Do you believe that there is a problem with the current process for resolving student complaints against faculty or staff? Oh, all right. Do you believe the current student housing facilities at MMSU meets the needs and standards of the student body?
Housing.
Yeah. Agree. Do you believe student organizations at MMSU receive adequate support and funding from the university? All right, you agree. Do you support greater student representation in university policy making decisions beyond the student council? Right. Are you in favor of the proposed renaming of MMSU to FEMSU or FEMSU? All right. Okay, there you go. All right.
Well, yes.
Are you in favor of imposing the no 2.75 rule in the Latin honor qualification system of our university? Okay. Lastly, are you in favor of imposing a one uniform policy for the university? No. All right. You have 1 minute to convince the student body on to vote why you are deserving, why you deserve to be in that position. Your 1 minute
Do I need
starts
to?
now.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Elisha Jaikachua. You can call me Ellie or Elisha, but I'm here, okay, as an aspiring executive vice chairperson of the University Student Council, and I'm asking for your support on this venture as I really go in this very important matter or very important part of my life, and I'm here really, I would like you to remember my name, Ali. That's ELY. So for all throughout this interview, you already knew about me, and I hope you will remember as this ends that E stands for empathy, L stands for luminosity, because I want to be the light, and I want you also to be benefited by this light, and I want you to see that you're also part of the light rather, and then Y is for yielding for growth. So that's from me. Thank you.
So there goes all of our questions. I believe that we have all the answers here that you have provided earlier. So once again, thank you very much for accepting the challenge or the invitation for joining us here in the interview, Ms. Chua. Once again, thank you very much. And we
Thank
hope that your words earlier on will be put into action if you will be in that position.
Yes, always and always.
Thank you very much. All right, and now it's time to listen to our next candidate, who is the current Assistant Secretary of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers MMSU chapter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Brian Dave O. Covita.
Yes.
Right. Welcome, Mr. Covita. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for joining us here.
Thank you po.
All right.
Good afternoon.
How are you feeling so
Ah.
far?
I'm alright and nervous because
Nervous?
this is my first time to be in a public,
Being in a public setting,
public setting.
especially that you have to speak in front,
for
in
the
front of
public.
hundreds of students or hundreds of people.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let me just start with a simple opening question.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that your experience as a student leader in the past years here in MMSU
Yeah.
has made you prepared for the position of the vice chairperson?
Yeah. I think I am hesitant before I filed my COC. But in my past years of being a organizational officer is kayak met ni inubra iti kabailak para iti organization mi. In my student organization's student cricket, I'm the former vice president external, which is very crucial din po na maging external po sa organization namin. So, yeah, I think I'm qualified din po. And I'm prepared na this position is for me and kaya ko din na gampanin din itong position na to.
All right. So you said that you had lots of, you had to think about it thoroughly. Kinailangan
Yeah.
niyo pong tignan na maigi. So what were there things that you had to do to cope with the pressure that you were facing, considering that you said it yourself? You were thinking about it thoroughly, whether or not will you continue to pursue the open position?
Yeah. I think pinagpampanunod ko nga na saya at ito nga position since before i-announce the DJ panag-open iti vice chairperson, pinagpanunod ko bit nga na saya at since I have to think and reconsider everything kasi I'm assistant secretary in my current org. So if I will assume, if possible po, na I will have my position here, I will take my responsibilities in my past org or like the current org ibatakon. So I think that will be that is the hardest idea or the hardest decision I made nga tapno lang ag-file iti position for kadating nga
Alright.
organization.
So, were there things that you had to do to really come up with the final decision? Did you have any coping mechanisms? Were there any strategies for you to
I
lead
think
to this moment?
sorry. I think pinagpanunod ko nga na saya at talaga nagdamagak iti advice the other advisors nga
Okay.
ko
Very
and
good.
other organizational advisors since amok nga ti may isang nga position iti vice president or the vice chairperson is like ket narigat talaga. Iya lang.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So now let's start with our questions. What prompted you to run for the executive vice chairperson position now and not during the last elections? Why only now?
I think before hindi ko siya kaya kasi ayun nga mahiyain ako ay mabuting nga pas lang no i-present ko ti bagik iti public ket I'm fear of like the losing in front of everybody. Pero now that I have the chance, I will try and if the stars is going to align for me, then it will be good. Pero if not, okay lang kasi it's my experience din na tumaban para sa position na to.
Okay. All right. So let's proceed.
Yes.
In Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution and Bylaws of the USC, the role and scope of responsibilities of the executive vice chairperson is solely to assist, assume the duties of the executive chairperson in their absence, and perform whatever functions are deemed necessary by the chairperson. What is something concrete you can offer the council? How would you ensure that you won't just be a spare tire in the system?
I think this term na spare tire sa organization ket I think kasi lang connotation tayo lang talaga dito. But really a vice chairperson is like a flexible member of the organization. Let's say for example in project managing hamet lang nga ni chairperson or like the others of the officers ket kay isudat mga bubra ni vice chairperson is like the harmonizer of the group kasi lang they go both hand in hand tapno lang or incorporate ka dijing nga decision or like an event nga makaana ka dijing nga organization.
All right. I appreciate you trying to explain a general detail. This is a general detail
Yeah.
of what the vice president really has to do. Okay. So now let's proceed to our next one. As mentioned previously by the incoming executive chairperson, the calendar and list of activities have already been set for the academic year.
Yeah.
Should you be elected in this position, what are the platforms and initiatives you plan to integrate into the already established activities?
Can you repeat again the question?
All right. Should you be elected in this position, what are the platforms and initiatives you plan to integrate into this already established activities?
To incorporate the ascend agenda of our former executive chairperson Alona Balusio, I want to add my platform as well, which is the BDOC platforms, which is biyang ti or the voice of transparency or ti biyang ti kinapudno. The D is the digiti adal ken salunat. The O is opportunidad iti panag alisto or panag progreso, and the lastly is collaboration and panagkaykaysa. So these platforms I think is like will incorporate in the ascend agenda of Miss Alona because number one in my biyang ti tagat kinapudno ket it's like a transparency type of platform. Yung transparency type of platform na yon is like in general like the paperwork of the organization, the financial statement, the minutes of the meeting, and such like. So in other platforms, I will use my platform to incorporate the said agenda of Miss Alona Balusio.
All right. Thank you. Partisan leadership still exists even in the university student body and in the General Assembly. While some may support your ideals, others will likely be opposing you. to the point that it would test your mettle in both professional and personal life. What's your stance about the existing partisan leadership, and how would you mitigate the situation?
I think number one ket if my platform handa suportaran ti idea. Ket
Mhm.
I think I will take that as a what do you call this one? Like a concern or like feedback of my platform.
Criticism.
Pero that feedback will incorporate into my platform then to modify that platform tapno amok nga no anat pagkurkurangan di nga platform tapno maakomodarak met isuda digiti
Okay.
students tayo. So lang di.
All right. Thank you. Right. So the sudden change of the USC leadership was due to the tremendous amount of pressure and demand from both the academe and the organization. Being a part of the USC would demand a lot of your personal resources. As the next vice chairperson, how would you handle your time and energy in order to ensure neither your academics or your council responsibilities suffer, considering that you are also an engineering student?
Yeah, considering that I am an engineering student, of course, madaming gawain sa engineering like plates and all. But I can assure that to the students of this Mariano Marquez State University that I can handle my time I can handle my time and efforts for the University Student Council. And and that and that will be all.
All right. So in you said that you can handle your time. How? In what way? In what way can you handle such responsibility?
Oh, yeah. I think first kita akbiit if di nga time frame ko talaga nga feasible kanya. So but but considering nga talaga nga engineering student ket need ko nga ag-advise or like mga lati advice no kasanok nga obraen iti time management ko. Although ibagak nga kayak met nga obraen iti time management ko pero I'm most of the time met hangko met kaya nga obraen iti time management ko.
Okay. So you mentioned that most of the time hindi mo kayang gawin ang time management. So what does it mean if because we can't really avoid when there would be times that it would demand much more than you're capable of. And in order for the student body to identify or to know whether you have what it takes, how would you be able to deal with the demand?
I think that demand talaga nga nadagsen. Amok DJ. So in order nga maubrak ti kabailak iti USC I have to separate my time like the personal life being I want to graduate on time, then I think that's the best option for me nga lang i-separate talaga iti oras ko para iti org ken ti personal life and the academic ko.
All right. Thank you. It is a likely possibility that you would be tasked to assume the role of executive chairperson in cases of his absence. Okay? As such, taking up this role would mean handling problems that may require either swift decision making or delicate and thorough discussions rather. In such situations, what factors would guide you in determining whether the problem needs to be handled quickly or given more time for thought?
If that's the case po na mangyari inside the organization, I think I will going to internalize things nga like pagsasaritaan mi nga nasaya at if ano ba ti dapat nga gawin. I think internal agreement is the best option talaga tapno maubra mi DJ nga decision or like the demand of the students.
Okay.
Since amo tayo nga talaga nga ti mesa nga executive chairperson or like the vice chairperson ket nadagsen ken amok nga adot responsibilidad na. So I think that's the best option for me nga internal agreement or like pagsasaritan nga nasaya at tapno solusyonan agad DJ problema.
Okay, so you mean you'd discuss with your fellow officers on what to do on that matter. Okay.
Yes po.
All right. Will you commit to pushing for a third-party audit or full publication of USC's financial records during your term, even if it implicates past officers? Why or why not?
I think I would agree that kind of
Be,
problem or like idea kasi in the first place po yung audit is like nagmo-monitor din po ng ano po. Hindi lang po kasi si finance na kayang i-handle yung pera and then kaya din po niyang gawin yung mga cash in and outflows of the organization. So needing of third party
Okay.
audit would mean I would mean much tapno makita nga na saya ti kwarta or the funds of the org or the like anat rumrumwar kadeta nga organization no anat ipaspastrek kadeta nga organization.
All right. Given the last vice chairperson had to unexpectedly assume the presidency, what makes you different and what makes you more prepared to handle the sudden transition?
I think I'm prepared now to assume that kind of position kasi number one, imbaga sinabi ko na kanina na being a vice president must be flexible at all times din. And given that position din po na na mag-assume for the position po is this one. Yun lang. Yung maging flexible lang po talaga sa sa position na gagampanin.
And now we proceed to the specific questions. So here are your questions prepared by the students or questions that we've got from the students. Okay?
Yes po.
Your platform, Bangon Tikinapudno, is that correct?
Biyang tikinapod mo.
Biyang Tikinapudno, is built on truth and transparency.
Yeah.
Given the USC's current financial issues, what specific mechanisms will you introduce to guarantee open student access to financial records and council decisions?
The Biyang Tikinapudno platform ket the one mode nga ket kung nga obrayan ka ket digital websites na. So in order for this platform ket feasible, I will try to talk with the CCIS counselor or the ICT department tapno maobra mi DJ nga platform. And of course kahit ko talaga nga ti organization ka transparent ka digiti student nga we all know nga dati nga issue ket talaga nga very hamit nga alarming ngem kas lang pressing issue din siya to the University Student Council kasi so that madidiin met. So that program or like the digital website is more like app tapno talaga nga mai-accommodar min kanya da digitoy kahit mi nga ipakita kanya that within the org of the University Student Council.
Okay, so as you've suggested that you would be approaching this platform in a digital way.
Yeah.
So that means you'd have to create an app, right?
Yeah,
so
or it's a website.
Website.
Yeah.
Do you already have a name for this website or app?
I think I will pagpanpanunutan mi
Alright.
mimat lang
So-
if I will assume on the position since this is only my platform. So if this platform ket patupad talaga ket we will do an internal agreement with the University Student Council din.
All right. Okay. You've also proposed the Sakbay No program. Sakbay No program. Is that correct?
It's I think sakay na program.
Okay. Sakay na program.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I've read that one also. Sakay na program. Okay. You've also proposed the Sakay na program for freshman readiness. How do you intend to prevent USC projects like this from being surface level or worse, being used as PR tools, public relation tools, rather than real service?
Can you repeat again the question
Okay.
since kasi
You've proposed the Sakay na program for freshman readiness. How do you intend to prevent USC projects like this from being surface level or worse, being used as PR tools rather than real service?
I think that is sakay na program ket it's about the transportation needs of the students DJ. So for me, tapno kas lang visible DJ nga project ket I would like to coordinate with the transportation group or tapno I think tida mo bagay ket kas lang kas tapno nga maana di surface level or like bumaba. So I think
Yeah, what I mean by that is um, uh, being surface level in a way that hindi lang siya proyekto, hindi lang, it's not just for the people to know your project, you have this achievement and that achievement, but rather how will this be really meaningful to the student? How will this be of benefit to the student body?
I think yeah, DJ ko nga kas lang one of the transportation of nga ay may isang nga problema iti students of the university which is DJ transportation talaga. Although ting baga kay platform ko kahit kas lang no such events nga ag patinggat trabi ket need damet ti ilugan nga agawid. Ngem also this project ket need kuma nga maubra since iso talaga ti may isang nga problema talaga ti students. And number ay second reason ket no makitkitak met iti students like for me ket nakalugan nak lang when nakamotor nak pero makitkitak met iti students nga magmagnada agpapaway tapno lang maabot da DJ jeep nga maduganan da jay. So I want this project nga dapat ket feasible ko man para ti students ket amok matirigat ti agbiyabiyahe no agpalawag or agpabatak when no siya naman ti papanam.
Alright. Okay, thank you. Okay. You are going against a more experienced student leader as per your credentials. Do you think your experience is enough knowing that you will be the second highest position of the USC?
Yeah, I saw that post of the USC din na kinitak mat the credentials ni J opponent ko. Pero I think for me ket kayak met iti agbalin nga vice chairperson iti University Student Council. As kasi ko nga I am the vice external president for in the PAS MMSU. So I had to do external activities tapno lang maubrak amin jay kabailak iti yan. Amok nga nadagsen iti kabailak as a VP or like the vice chairperson pero one of the edge nga kayak met ket being a technical leader.
Technical leader.
So being a technical leader ket being a strategic, systematic and problem solving the mindset iti may isang organization.
All right. Thank you. You are a civil engineering student. You do understand that there is a pressure of keeping yourself on track in both academics and the council. How do you plan to be effective in both?
Can you
All right. You are a civil engineering student. You do understand that there is a pressure of keeping yourself on track in both academics and the council. How do you plan to be effective in both?
Yeah. I think I will be going to be an effective leader for that kasi number one, napagsaritaan tatay nga about time management. I will do my best to my best nga i-manage talaga iti time ko pagsa-separaton and all. And also going to be an effective leader in the USC Council ket i-manage ko met iti time para ti organization.
Okay. All right. And that wraps the specific questions. And now let's proceed to our next set of questions. This time it's not just it's not just like the previous questions that we had earlier. This time it's a fast-paced answering, but you will be answering with these banners, right? That was prepared. Okay. So I will ask the question once, and you will state whether you agree or disagree by raising the banners
Yeah.
or the yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that there should be a universal fining system across all colleges for absences during required participations in events and programs? Agree or disagree?
No.
Do you support the promotion of lesser student activities to lessen class interruptions? Do you believe the campus food services offer enough healthy and affordable options?
Yes.
Do you believe that student organizations should have more autonomy on how they spend their funding?
Mm, yes.
Are you willing to publicly release your campaign donors, if there are any, to ensure transparency?
Yes.
Do you believe the student council is currently doing an adequate job of representing marginalized student groups? Do you believe there is a problem with the current process for resolving student complaints against faculty or staff?
Yes.
Do you believe the current student housing facilities at MMSU meet the needs and standards of the student body?
Yes.
Do you believe student organizations at MMSU receive adequate support and funding from the university?
Yes.
Do you support greater student representation in university policy-making decisions beyond the student council? Are you in favor of the proposed renaming of MMSU to FEMSU?
Strongly no.
All right. Are you in favor of imposing the no 2.75 rule in the Latin honor qualification system of our university? Are you in favor of imposing a one uniform policy for the university?
No.
All right. So that would be our last set of the agree or disagree questions. And now we will be giving you 1 minute to convince the student body on why they should vote for you.
Yeah.
And your 1 minute starts now.
So, hi, hello, everyone, MMSU Stallions. I'm Brian Dave Ocovita, and I'm humbly ask your support to vote for me, not just for recognition, but I am committed also in this organization. Amok nga narigat iti vice chairperson, pero amok nga amin nga kayaket ited ko para kanyayo amin nga MMSU Stallions. So, thank you and please vote wisely.
All right. Thank you very much,
Thank you po.
Mr. Covito.
Covita po.
Covita.
Yes po.
Covita, sorry. Apologies. Mr. Covita, once again, thank you very much for joining us here,
Yes po.
for taking the challenge
Yes
of
po.
coming here in the interview. And I hope that your words earlier will be as effective in doing your responsibilities or
Yes po.
upholding your responsibilities,
Yes
if ever you will be the elected one.
Yes.
Right? Thank you.
That concludes our interview for the USC special elections. Once again, thank you to our candidates and to our viewers for tuning in. To keep you updated on the USC special elections, follow the official Facebook page of MMSU University Student Council. And now, this has been Matthew Cabye. The responsibility to choose the best and most fitting leader is now in your hands.